Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to discuss a topic that shakes the heavens and reverberates through the corridors of destiny, the signs of being dangerously anointed by God. Let me tell you, when you are chosen by God for an extraordinary purpose, it is not a life of ease you are called to, but a journey of profound transformation. There is a weight that accompanies greatness, and with that weight come signs, divine indicators that set you apart. When you are dangerously anointed by God, life takes on a unique intensity. Challenges come not as whispers but as thunderclaps, shaking the very foundation of your existence. These trials do not come because you are ordinary, they come because you are extraordinary. The weight of your anointing draws a level of adversity that is unmatched, not to break you, but to prepare you for something divine. Understand this: your challenges are the battlefield where your anointing is forged. Imagine a diamond being formed deep within the earth. It is subjected to unimaginable pressure and heat over time. That pressure is not there to destroy the carbon, it is there to transform it into something precious, something unbreakable. Similarly, when you find yourself in situations that feel unbearable, you must remember that you are not being crushed, you are being molded. The adversity you face is a clear sign that God is shaping you for a purpose far greater than you can comprehend. Every trial is a testimony of your potential. Consider the life of a seed planted deep in the soil. It is buried, unseen, and surrounded by darkness. But in that dark place, something miraculous happens. The seed begins to grow, pushing against the weight of the earth above it. The struggle is essential for its transformation into a thriving plant. In the same way, the trials you endure are not meant to bury you, but to build you. The greater the resistance, the stronger your roots become. And let me tell you, deep roots are necessary to sustain the heights to which you are called. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, moments when the world seems to conspire against you. Doors may close, relationships may falter, and setbacks may come relentlessly. But these are not signs of defeat, they are divine appointments. They are the fires that purify your character and reveal your resilience. When you are dangerously anointed, the enemy recognizes your potential before you do. The opposition you face is not a reflection of your failure, but a confirmation of your purpose. If the enemy is fighting you hard, it's because your destiny is powerful. So embrace the challenges. Do not curse the weight you carry, for it is preparing you for glory. Do not despise the trials, for they are your proving ground. Stand firm, knowing that the Creator Himself has anointed you for such a time as this. You are not just enduring hardship, you are being prepared to impact lives, to shift atmospheres, and to walk in a purpose so profound that the world will never be the same. The trials are temporary, but the anointing is eternal. Hold on, for your breakthrough is nearer than you think. There is a peculiar stirring that comes upon those who are dangerously anointed by God. It is not something you can ignore or silence. It awakens you in the middle of the night, sets your heart racing, and fills your mind with possibilities that seem larger than life. This stirring is the evidence of a unique vision, a divine blueprint imprinted on your soul. It's not just a dream, it's a calling. It refuses to let you settle for less because it knows the greatness that resides within you. When you carry a vision from God, there is a holy dissatisfaction with the ordinary. What others celebrate as enough feels incomplete to you. The routines that seem comfortable for most begin to feel like shackles to your spirit. You find yourself yearning for something more, something that cannot be explained in mere words. It's as though your soul is homesick for a future it has already glimpsed. This restlessness is not a curse, it's a gift. It's God's way of reminding you that you are destined for a life that transcends the mundane. But let me tell you, carrying a vision of this magnitude is not easy. It isolates you. It sets you apart. While others are content with what they have, you wrestle with a hunger that cannot be satisfied by anything in this world. You may feel misunderstood even by those closest to you. Friends may tell you to be realistic. Family may urge you to settle down, but deep down you know that to abandon your vision would be to abandon a piece of your soul. It is not arrogance that drives you, it is divine urgency. This vision doesn't just challenge you, it transforms you. It pulls you out of your comfort zone and compels you to grow. You begin to see the world differently, not as it is, but as it could be. What others dismiss as impossible becomes your mandate. The restlessness within you pushes you to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to trust God in ways you never imagined. This is not about personal ambition, it is about aligning with heaven's purpose for your life. And let me remind you, God doesn't give ordinary visions to ordinary people. If the vision inside you feels overwhelming, it's because it's not meant to be accomplished in your strength alone. It is a partnership between you and the Creator. Your restlessness is His call to action, His nudge to step forward even when the path is unclear. Do not ignore it. Do not suppress it. Lean into it, for that restlessness is the birthplace of transformation, not just for you, but for everyone your vision is meant to touch. So, embrace the discomfort. Let the restlessness refine you, not frustrate you. Let it propel you toward your purpose, knowing that the one who planted the vision in your heart will also provide the strength to see it through. You are not just living, you are being prepared to leave a legacy. And that legacy begins with the vision that stirs within you today, Doc. When you are dangerously anointed by God, one thing becomes undeniably clear: the higher you rise, the greater the opposition you face. This is not a coincidence. It is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Opposition is the clearest indicator that you are walking in alignment with your divine purpose. It is a sign that your steps are shaking the foundations of darkness and disrupting the status quo. Resistance is not your enemy, it is your confirmation. You see, when you carry an anointing, you are not just another player on the field. You are a game changer, a disruptor, and a threat to mediocrity. The enemy recognizes this often before you do. He knows the impact you are destined to make, and his goal is to stop you before you realize your full potential. This is why the battles seem unrelenting. It's why the obstacles appear insurmountable. But let me remind you, the presence of opposition is not a reflection of your weakness. It is a testament to your strength and your calling. Think about this: a lion does not waste its energy chasing mice. It reserves its power for what is worth pursuing. In the same way, the intensity of the opposition you face is directly proportional to the greatness of your purpose. If you were not a threat, you would not be targeted. But because you are anointed, because you are dangerously anointed, the forces that stand against you will do everything in their power to discourage, distract, and defeat you. But take heart, for every attack is also an opportunity to prove that no weapon formed against you will prosper. Opposition has a way of revealing who you truly are. It strips away the superficial and exposes the strength that lies within. It is in the face of resistance that you discover your resilience. Every setback becomes a setup for a greater comeback. Every no you encounter becomes fuel for a more determined yes. The fire of opposition does not consume you, it refines you. It burns away fear, doubt, and insecurity, leaving only the pure gold of faith and determination. And let us not forget that you are not fighting alone. The anointing you carry comes with divine backing. For every enemy that rises against you, there is a heavenly host ready to defend you. For every door that closes, God is preparing to open one that no man can shut. The opposition may feel overwhelming, but it is no match for the one who called you. Your anointing is your shield, your weapon, and your guarantee of victory. So when the opposition intensifies, do not be afraid, do not retreat. Instead, let it fuel your resolve. Stand firm, knowing that the battle is not yours but the Lord's. Know that every challenge you face is a stepping stone to your destiny. The resistance is not there to stop you, it is there to strengthen you. And as you persevere, you will find that the very opposition meant to break you will become the testimony that propels you into your purpose. When you are dangerously anointed by God, your perspective shifts in extraordinary ways. You begin to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. What others perceive as obstacles, you recognize as opportunities. What looks like chaos to many appears to you as the raw material for transformation. This ability to see potential where others see problems is not just a skill, it is a divine gift, a hallmark of your anointing. It sets you apart and positions you as a catalyst for change. Think about it, the greatest innovations, breakthroughs, and revolutions in history were born out of problems. The very things that others deemed insurmountable were seen by a select few as invitations to create something extraordinary. These individuals had an uncommon ability to look at the same challenges and see a path forward. When you are anointed, this becomes your reality. God grants you a vision that penetrates beyond the surface. While others are quick to dismiss or despair, you are drawn to engage, to rebuild, and to redeem what appears lost. This mindset is not for the faint of heart. Seeing potential in the midst of problems often means standing alone. It means believing in possibilities that others cannot fathom. People may criticize you, call you naive, or question your motives. They may tell you to give up, to walk away, or to settle for less. But deep inside, you know that your perspective is not rooted in mere optimism, it is grounded in faith. It is the knowledge that the God who anointed you is the same God who turns mourning into joy, ashes into beauty, and setbacks into setups for greatness. This ability to see potential is not just about vision, it's about action. It's about stepping into situations others run away from. It's about having the courage to rebuild broken systems, restore fractured relationships, and breathe life into lifeless circumstances. This is not a passive gift, it is an active calling. It requires boldness, creativity, and perseverance. It calls you to roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, and invest yourself fully in the process of transformation. And let me remind you, this is not about your strength or ingenuity alone. It is about allowing God to work through you. It is about surrendering to His plans and trusting that He will provide the wisdom, resources, and strength you need to accomplish what He has called you to do. When you see potential in problems, you are aligning yourself with His vision, His heart, and His purpose for the world. You become His instrument of change, His ambassador of hope, and His vessel for restoration. So embrace the unique lens you have been given. Refuse to be discouraged by the negativity around you. Stand firm in your faith, knowing that your ability to see potential is not a coincidence, it is a divine commission. And as you walk boldly in this calling, you will discover that the very problems you are drawn to solve will become the platforms for your purpose, the evidence of your anointing, and the legacy you leave behind when you are dangerously anointed by God. Something remarkable begins to happen. You gain influence without ever chasing it. This is not about self-promotion, manipulation, or striving to be noticed. It is about the undeniable impact of your anointing speaking louder than any words you could ever utter. It is a divine magnetism, a light that draws others not because you seek to shine, but because you cannot help but reflect the glory of the one who anointed you. You see, true influence is not something you grasp for, it is something you grow into. It is born out of authenticity, integrity, and a life lived in alignment with your purpose. When you are walking in your anointing, people are drawn to you because they see something different in you. They see someone who carries a presence, a peace, and a power that cannot be fabricated. They see someone who does not just talk about change, but embodies it. Your influence becomes a natural extension of the impact you are making in the lives of others. This kind of influence does not come without cost. To carry an anointing that changes lives, you must first allow that anointing to change you. It requires a deep surrender, a willingness to be refined, and a commitment to walk the path laid out for you, even when it is difficult. But as you do, something extraordinary happens. Your life becomes a testimony. Your actions speak volumes, and your faith inspires others to believe in possibilities they never imagined. Influence becomes not a goal, but a byproduct of the work God is doing through you. What's more, this influence is not confined by the boundaries of title, position, or status. It transcends all of that. It is not about how many people follow you, but about how deeply you touch the lives of those who cross your path. It's in the small, quiet moments when you extend kindness to someone in need, speak hope into a weary heart, or offer guidance to someone searching for direction. These seemingly insignificant acts ripple out, touching lives in ways you may never fully realize. And here is the most beautiful part. This influence is not about elevating you, but about elevating Him. When you walk in your anointing, people do not just see you, they see the God who anointed you. They see His love, His grace, and His power working through your life. Your influence becomes a channel for His glory, a beacon pointing others back to Him. Without even seeking it, your life becomes a living testimony, a light that shines in the darkness, and a source of hope for those who are searching. So walk boldly in your anointing, knowing that you do not need to chase influence, it will find you. Focus on being faithful, on serving with humility, and on living a life that honors the one who called you. And as you do, your influence will grow in ways you could never imagine, impacting lives far beyond what you could ever see or measure. This is the power of a life dangerously anointed by God. When you are dangerously anointed by God, there is an undeniable weight that comes with your calling. It is not a burden of despair, but a burden of purpose, a divine responsibility that feels heavy because it matters. This is the weight of knowing that your life is not your own, that your actions, choices, and sacrifices have ripple effects far beyond what you can see. It is the realization that you have been chosen not just to live, but to lead, to influence, and to make a lasting impact in a world that desperately needs what God has placed within you. This burden can feel overwhelming at times. You may find yourself asking, why me? Why was I chosen for this? The magnitude of the vision before you can seem impossible, and the sacrifices required may feel like more than you can bear. But let me remind you, this weight is not a punishment, it is a privilege. It is God's way of entrusting you with something that has eternal significance. He has placed this burden on you because He knows that you are not just capable, you are chosen. And yet, it is important to acknowledge the human side of carrying such a burden. There will be days when you feel like the weight is too much, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, and when the path ahead feels lonely. You may wrestle with doubt, questioning whether you have what it takes to see it through. But in these moments, remember this: the burden is not yours to carry alone. The one who anointed you is also the one who strengthens you. He promises to walk with you, to guide you. As we come to the close of this reflection, let us remember that being dangerously anointed by God is not a life of ease, but it is a life of profound meaning and eternal impact. It is a journey that challenges you, refines you, and calls you to rise above the ordinary. It demands resilience in the face of uncommon challenges, a steadfast vision when restlessness stirs your soul, and unshakable faith when opposition intensifies. It requires the courage to see potential where others see problems, the humility to let influence find you, and the strength to carry the burden of a divine calling with grace and determination. But most of all, it is a journey filled with purpose, guided by the hand of the one who called you. You were not chosen by chance, you were chosen with intent. The challenges you face, the weight you carry, and the path you walk are all part of a divine design. They are shaping you into the person you are meant to be, someone who transforms lives, inspires hearts, and leaves an indelible mark on the world. So go forth with confidence, knowing that the anointing on your life is a testament to the greatness within you. Let every challenge refine you, let every setback strengthen you, and let every step forward bring you closer to the fulfillment of your God-given purpose. You are not alone in this journey. You are supported, guided, and empowered by the one who anointed you. Walk boldly, live purposefully, and let your light shine as a beacon of hope and transformation. The world is waiting for the impact only you can make. Step into it with faith, knowing that you were made for such a time as this.